Hello, hello. Welcome to my Zen Wellness space. Ça passe, bonjour. If it's your first time, welcome. If you're returning, hello, welcome back. I'm so glad to have y'all today. Y'all, we're vibing today, okay? Low pressure, low key. I just felt called to come on and talk about this full moon in Virgo with some tea. This is giving me reminiscent of the tea and tarot my dear friend Carolyn and I have done in the past and continue to do. We have some really cool new offerings coming out in the near future once we enter the astrological new year. But if you want to check out some of our previous tea and tarots where we talked about the lunation, I believe we have one on the Virgo Full Moon. I'll make sure if we do that I link it below or link the playlist to the tea and tarots. But this is the vibe today. I have some cards with me. I have myself, who's a Virgo moon and rising, who's feeling this full moon in Virgo. That's in 5 degrees. My natal moon is in Virgo in the 12th house at 2 degrees. And so I'm feeling this big time. My Black Moon Lilith is also in Virgo at 1 degree, I believe. So definitely conjunct this full moon. And just me being a Virgo rising, Lilith is also, there's just a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on and I'm feeling it. And I was like, my theme right now, if you've seen my previous videos on me launching a podcast, I stated that I really want to try to lean into my North Node and just showing up and just vibing without the Virgo details. And it's funny that I say this, showing up on a Virgo new moon, but we're balancing some of these energies, right? This is the access, the healer's access. This is the access of service and health, the needs and the want, charity and service. So I'm just showing up and being of service, kind of sharing my intuitive thoughts on this Virgo full moon. And I just wanted to share, like, my intention for coming on today is to really share some of the astrological insights as well as the human design vibe, so that we can just play with these energies and experiment with these energies and really tune into the details that this full moon in Virgo, the vibe in the sky is really giving us during this time. So this is the final astrological full moon of the year. Oh, before we even get into that, y'all, I just want to tell y'all how funny spirit works. There, like I said, full moon in Virgo right now. So real life example of how this full moon is affecting my life. The full moon in Virgo. So when we think about the full moon, we're thinking about an illumination, like there's a spotlight, right? With the moon and its like beauty and its fullness, right? Is bringing a spotlight to a certain area of your life. And to figure that out, you would look at where the full moon is happening. So the Virgo part of your life. So Virgo falls in my 12th house. I'm a Virgo rising at 27 degrees, and the full moon is at 5 degrees. So that's like in the very beginning of my 12th house journey. So I have just been already just feeling all the feels. Like all the clairs have been super heightened for me. Again, spotlight, right? In the 12th house. And the 12th house represents what's hidden, what's behind the scenes, mystical mysteries, fantasy, spirituality, like that old, wise, ancient wisdom, ancient soul. And so I haven't been feeling the need to really pull cards that much because I'm literally like all of my clairs are heightened. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. I'm, hearing it. So it's like, the cards were really a tool for me to enhance that. But I still love using them. I'm a very visual learner and experimenter. And so I was like, okay, I have, y'all know, my favorite Moonology deck here. And I was like, okay, did my ritual, shuffling the cards, and I was like, let me just pull one card before I sit here and talk today. And the card that came out was the last quarter moon in Virgo. I can't make this shit up. Not only was it the last quarter, well, not only is it a Virgo card, a Virgo moon card, guess who was born during the last quarter phase? Like literally, my Virgo moon is a last quarter Virgo moon. And it says, attend to the details, attend to the details, while also on the bottom of the deck, and what comes right before Virgo is Leo. And this is my stage, right? My Zen Wellness stage YouTube platform. So that represents like that Virgo and or that Leo energy. And it says, lighten up. So you can intuit to the details, but do it in a playful Leo, Leo-esque way by lightening up. Also, last quarter moon phase. You can't make this up, y'all. So shout out to my spiritual team for allowing me to vibe how I do, attuning to the details, but also lightening it up, making it fun, making it chill. Like I'm literally off of a session. Like we're vibing, y'all. We're vibing. So get what you need. Get your tea, get your smokes, get your wine, whatever, your coffee, your matcha, whatever feels good for you, and just chill back and tune into the details. Tune into the details of this Virgo full moon kind of vibe that I'm going to give y'all with the details. Because there's a lot going on, y'all. There's literally a lot going on. Okay, so like I began this saying the final full moon, this is the final full moon of the astrological year. Why? Because we're in Pisces season right now. So happy solar return to all of my Pisces, the sun, right? Solar return is in Pisces right now. So happy Pisces season. We love y'all. My daughter is a Pisces rising. My husband is a Pisces moon. My descendant is in Pisces. So I love y'all. I'm attracted to y'all, and why? We are sister signs. You have what I need. I can give you what you need. We are the axis of service. So in healing. So shout out to my Pisces out there. And before, like, Pisces is the 12th house energy, right? We're ending the journey right before we get into the new year, the new beginning, which when the sun is in Aries. So this is the final full moon of the astrological year. So when I think of that, again, full moons are bringing something into illumination for us. So if you think about this journey at the end of the year, end of the astrological year, what is illuminating right now for you maybe that you could really take with you into the void, into the womb space. When I think of the 12th house, when I think of Pisces season, I think of the waters in that womb space, in that mommy's belly, right? That void before your birth into that head comes out, that Aries head comes out of the canal. So what is coming up for you right now that you could really sit into and really sit and incubate in before we get into the astrological new year? So what is highlighting, what is spotlighting for you now, so that when we get into Aries season, you can really take action and you can really take initiative on and be like, I'm here. I'm ready to go, So this is also, we think of, and if you want clues on this, you can look to Mercury. Mercury is also in Pisces right now. So it's bringing in information. And I really feel like in Pisces, really intuitive information, spiritual information that has been maybe hidden before. But Mercury's, which is the ruler of this full moon, is really like giving you the data, the information, the communication that you need right now to really be like, oh, okay, this is what's coming up. Let me sit with this. Let me, really ponder on this before, taking action or going into a new journey, because again, Aries season is right around the corner. So there's a realization, there's a data, there's a confirming of something that you've been maybe intuitively feeling, and you're getting the clear, accurate data. Like, here it is. Here it is. Mercury is not as comfy in Pisces because, again, but in Virgo, it definitely is. Gemini and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. But Pisces, when we think of Pisces, it's a watery, mutable sign. And so it's just like, I got the information. How do you feel about it? What do you feel about this information? Rather than, this is the data, this is how it is, which is kind of like how Mercury likes to feel. So that's those are just some things. When I think about some of the key things for this Virgo moon, we're thinking about needs versus wants, charities versus service, health and service, healing. Again, Virgo in Pisces is the healing axis, is the axis of service. Pisces does it in a more spiritual way, giving you, what you need spiritually, and Virgo is going to give it into you in the practicality, right? Water versus earth, right? Virgo is going to give you the details, the grounding, moment, and the things that you need to kind of absorb that water and those feelings that you're taking in. And all of that is healing. All of that is healing. So who is feeling this the most? The placements that are feeling this the most, or if you have any placements in 0 to 10 degrees, again, I'm feeling this a lot because my Virgo moon is at 2 degrees. So anything between 2 to 10 degrees, any of your, planets, you're feeling this. Any of the mutable signs, which is Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini, you're definitely feeling this as well. It's going to be impacting you. And if you want to know where it's impacting you, again, you look to that specific house. Where this full moon is falling. Like for me, I explained that it's in the 12th house. You would look at where Virgo is for you. Is it in the second house, of self-worth? Is it in the third house of maybe what you're communicating right now, the details and the data that you're communicating? Is it in your fourth house of home, of family? It's like really nurturing and being of service to your family. So look to that. And if you want clues on how to pull your chart, where to go for that, I'll make sure that I link a video that I did specifically on that. And I also have a resource that gives you all the details, the Virgo details on how to look that up in your chart. So let's talk about the work, because again, Virgo here loves some homework, loves to do the work, loves to practically use this information and really take this information from the, that we have with the astrological weather and what can we do with it. So we have the info that we need, and we need to make sure that we activate a plan in order to move things forward. Like I shared before, this is like the void season. This is like the time when you're feeling all the feels. So, and then that way, when we get into Aries season, we have a plan. We're like, I felt all the feels. I know what to do. And then, we're heading into the season. But Virgo can get stuck in analysis paralysis. So yes, feel all the feels, but again, put pen to paper, do something. Just don't get into all the details. I need to make sure that this font is right. I need to make sure that this color is good. I need to make sure that I have everything, spell checked and, before you put it out there. Just put it, sometimes you just need to put it out there and see what happens, because while you're stuck in analysis paralysis, you're not really being of service, and somebody that might need your service is waiting because you haven't even communicated any of the things because you're stuck in those details. Am I preaching to myself? Yes, I hear myself. Use this information to determine the best way forward. We talked about that, and to make a plan towards healing. Again, that's the vibes of Virgo. That's the vibes of Virgo. And some of the archetypes, if you know me, I like to play a lot with archetypes. Some of the archetypes for Virgo are the high priestess, the boss witch, the healer, the sovereign one. And what I also love about Virgo is that it's closely related to two asteroid goddesses that are playing a big part in this Virgo full moon illumination. And that's Vesta and Ceres. Vesta and Ceres. And I talked about Leo, which is so funny. The only placement that I have in Leo is my Vesta, which is which speaks to sacred devotion. In Ceres is like the mother of Persephone, of Venus, like she rules agriculture, but we'll get there. Okay, we'll get there. But some of this, those are some of the archetypes. Some Virgos, if you again want to understand the vibes of Virgo, we're talking about Queen Bee herself, Beyonce. We're talking about Ava DuVernay. We're talking about Pink, Mother Teresa, just to name a few. Just to name a few. Just to name a few. Your girl, Virgo rising. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about some of the aspects in this Virgo, in this full moon and Virgo chart. So this full moon is conjunct another asteroid that I love. I love working with asteroids and I know this asteroid very well because it's conjunct natally for me, my sun. So my sun is at 2 degrees in Gemini. My Juno is at 2 degrees in Gemini as well. And so this full moon in Virgo, is conjunct Juno. So what is Juno? Let's understand Juno's vibe, also known as Hera, in order to understand this energy. Juno, again, also known as Hera, was the devoted wife to Jupiter, aka Zeus, right? She was Zeus's husband. She was like the devoted one. So you look at Juno in your chart to see, like really like devotion to somebody, who you're like committed to. Like Jupiter was out here running literally spreading his seeds everywhere. But what was she? Like, she was a devoted wife. She stood by her man. But what did that give her? Resentment, which is very dangerous as well. So be mindful of that energy too. So if we have this full moon of service conjuncting Juno, it's asking us to make a commitment to something. So what commitment are you taking on at this time? What commitment? And it's also closely related to relationships, right? So who are you getting into commitments with? Who are you committing to, maybe contractually, maybe in a relationship, who you flirting with, and maybe ready to take that next commitment to. So these are some of the vibes that might be coming up for us. Another asteroid that's playing a big role in this is Pallas Athena, and it's in Sag, and it's creating a T-square to the moon and the sun, and it's also sextiling Mars and Venus. So when we're thinking about Pallas, we're thinking about strategy. Strategy. War sometimes, but war in the feminine vibe, the feminine vibration of vibes. If you think of the masculine war, you think of Mars, Aries, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this shit done. I'm just going to be out there. But if you think about war, you need that action. You need to fight out here in these streets. But what do you also need? You need the strategy. Okay, I need a plan. I need a plot. I need to get a strategy. I need to look at the bigger picture and see how I want to tackle this war, see how I want to strategically tackle this war. So she represents the feminine vibration of war. She is also, there's a lot of things I can go about Pallas, but again, we're thinking about strategy. So in Sagittarius, it's squaring off. So it's creating a tension or a challenge with the moon and the sun. So there's some tension that's coming up for us, that's asking us to take a strategy, that's asking us to look at the bigger picture so that we can take this on, so that we can take this war or fight on. So with the sextile to Venus and Mars, I believe Pluto as well, we're exploring a path that we've never taken before, taking a big leap, doing something that we've never done before. And this is with Venus, taking action on something that we never done before. And this is, again, around relationships, our communities. It could be also around your values. Are you creating your values? Are you taking initiative, doing something that you've never done before, seeing your values in another way that you haven't before? So those are some energies that can be coming up right now. And we also talked about the Virgo energy being aligned with the Asteroid Goddess series. Also considered a dwarf planet. Series is one of the largest asteroids out there. And she represents that nurturing energy, that divine mother energy, right? So it's in a trine with the moon. So it's in a beautiful harmony with the moon, and it's sextiling the sun and Mercury and Mars. So there is this kind of Virgo kind of, let me take care of you energy, let me nurture you energy. And you might be feeling that in different places. In your life. So really taking that wisdom of, and maybe it's spotlighting where you need to be nurtured, or seeing where there's maybe a lack of nurturing. So you're now getting the wisdom and the information that you need to say, hey, I actually need nurturing this way. And through nurturing, it helps me fill my cup so that I can then take action. Series also represents how you're being nurtured, and which again I talked about, and a need to be nurtured in childhood. So there's could be some mother wounding energies, popping up or populating up, and seeing how maybe your mother did not nurture you, and how you're creating or craving that now. Some of those energies might be coming up. Yeah, about how we parent ourselves and parent the people around us. She also represents cycles, and the cycles of death, birth, grief, and joy, right? Lots series, and her story is so beautiful. I think one day I want to do a video on the asteroid goddesses, because I work with them so heavily in the chart. So you can look to series. She also deals with agriculture. She also deals with sometimes food disorders as well. There's so many things that you can kind of figure out and put together through not only the personal planets, but the asteroids, I find. But the cycles of death and grief and joy and birth is also around the energy of Ceres. So just I invite you to check her energy out, because it's a beautiful energy, but also a sad story. Yeah, I won't get into it. What else do we have in this chart? Some of the transits that happened this week: the Sun conjunction to Saturn and Mercury on the 28th. So coming up in a couple of days here, we have the Saturn conjunction, which is starting a new Saturn cycle for us. So during this time, we could be getting visions and dreams. So pay attention to your dreams and the visions and the intuitions that are starting to bubble up at this time. The North Node and Chiron are vibing together, and this is about how we feel about things. Again, these energies are in Aries. So how are we feeling? What are our needs? And what do we need to nurture ourselves, to heal ourselves? So in order to move forward in the collective, because when we're well, the collective can also be and feel well. So those are just some of the vibes and some of the themes that might be coming up for us at this time. Let's talk about the human design energies in the chart. So, what I think is so interesting, of course, right? Excuse me. Astrology and human design so we talked about the map, right? So, what's the difference between astrology and human design? Astrology gives us a map of, the sky when we were first born. So, we understand the weather, we understand the map, we understand, okay, where we got to go. But how do we get there? What's the right way? What's the fastest way we can get there? What's the way that we can maybe lean into satisfaction versus be frustrated, bitter, angry, disappointed along the way, which is our not-self themes. And the way that we do this is by looking at human design, understanding the energies. And that's what human design shows us. So human design, the sun right now, the time of this full moon in Virgo, the sun in Virgo, right? no, excuse me, the sun right now. So the sun is always going to be opposing a full moon right now. So the sun is opposing Virgo, which is the opposing sign we talked about, is in Pisces. So the sun right now is in gate 55, gate 55. And gate 55 is the gate of the abundant spirit. I know this all too well because this is my conscious sun gate, my unconscious sun gate. I have a post all about this if you go to my YouTube channel or my IG channel, you can go to the community section of my YouTube page, and I have a post about this, the 55.6. But this is the energy of the new paradigm, the incarnation cross of the sleeping phoenix. So if you have the incarnation cross of the sleeping phoenix, this is, this energy too well. And this energy is giving us a taste of what we're going to be feeling in the new paradigm once we enter 2027, when we transition from the incarnation cross of planning to the incarnation cross of the sleeping phoenix. And one of the 4 gates that are part of this incarnation cross is the gate 55, the gate of the abundant spirit. And so what is this energy? What is this energy? This energy is surrendering to Pisces, right? Surrendering to spirit, to knowing that spirit always has our back and always is going to be rooting for us and has our highest and greatest good. And so again, surrendering and releasing some of the Virgo critical attachment, letting go and seeing opportunities, seeing the world that the world is speaking to you and the world is providing you abundant opportunities. And in 55.6, so the gate 55, line 6, there are 6 lines in that the sun or the earth or any astrological body will experience, and the last line is line 6. And line 6, 55, line 6 is the energy of divine selfishness. So what does this mean, selfishness? So this is the energy that we're moving towards in the new paradigm. Selfishness. What is selfishness? My cup. We talked about all that nurturing before, right? So my cup is filled. I am nurtured. So then what? I can then pour back into others and truly be of service to others because I have honored that divine selfishness. And then I can truly, fully be of service to others. So this is the theme of feeling supported by the universe and understanding and nurturing ourselves during this time, being selfish in some ways so that we can then really not feel burnt out, giving people like half of a cup because I don't want it. I want your fullness, of when you're feeling, vital. And so honoring that energy of selfishness in gate 55. And the moon, as well as the earth that we look to for grounding during this time, is in gate 59. Again, I know this too well because Virgo is it represents this energy of 59, which is also a part of the incarnation cross of the sleeping phoenix. So we're going to be feeling this energy in 2027, and 59 represents sexuality. Intimacy is the vibes of this gate. So it's knowing, let me pull my notes on this side because I have some really good notes about this that I wrote for myself because I am 59 line 6, and 59 line 6 is the energy of a one night stand. We'll get there. But so the energy of 59 is knowing yourself through other people. This is the gift of this gate is to really penetrate the auras of others, to really get intimate, to really understand the intimate bonds with people, to share combined intimate moments with people. But the shadow is dishonesty and not being vulnerable to create those different intimate relationships, because you can't penetrate somebody else's energy and expect them to be vulnerable to you if you're not being vulnerable back. That's dishonest, right? So you can't be, that's the shadow of this gate. Real intimacy is about truth and being honest with yourself, taking responsibility, owning your own feelings versus blaming others. And this sexual energy is about shedding your skin, right? Getting that bare skin of vulnerability. When we think about the snake is very much sexual energy. When I think about the snake, I think of Dambala. I think about Ayurveda and their divine partnership and how they were able to create the world. And 59 in gate 59 and gate 6 create mating, intimacy. And what did they do? They created through the semen. Like, it gets deep, y'all. Like, they created the cosmos, they created the world. A beautiful divine story. And that is the divine story of the snake. It's very sexual, kundalini energy. So this is, again, we might be feeling some of that energy, but in order to get there, it really requires vulnerability, and intimacy with your higher self, and that awareness with your higher self. So I also talked about line gate 59, line 6, and that's the energy of the one night stand, and you'll really feel this energy if you're a 3-6, a 6-3, or a 6-2. So this energy of the one night stand is energy to, I'm just going to read this here from a book that I absolutely love called The Mandala of Life. And it says, as mentioned, the energy of gate 59, line 6 experiments with many different intimate connections in their early life, so that later their potential can become fixated on an ultimate connection, that you step away from all other intimate connections altogether. If that happens, intimate bonds will result into children. Again, this is the energy of mating, of intimacy. So really getting to experiment, right? Because the line 6 is it's living that role of a line 3, right? But it's a more mature line 3 in human design. If you understand the line 3, or if you know the line 3, it's all about trial and error, like trying things, experimenting with things, and doing all of those things out, so that later you can create a true intimate bond with somebody. And what results in intimate bonds? Children, procreation. And this is not only energy of physical children, but it could be a project of something. And let's just say I know this energy, well, this speaks to me for sure. I had to experiment before I found my husband. And again, it's the energy of selfishness, right? So the themes of selfishness, where you take your needs before others do. So the themes of the 6th line is expressed. It's breaking all of those different barriers. So yeah, I think that's all I gotta say about that. Was a lot. Again, some of the energies are healing the mind, body, and soul, speaking your truth, nurturing, not avoiding things, being mutable, being flexible. There's so many things. Like, I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I'm going to stop. I feel like that was enough details for you all. And it's 333 here on the clock. I just see. So I feel like it's a great time to look at the 3 cards that I pulled today, and one was from the Sacred Forest. Do I have? Which is one of my favorite decks, because the Sacred Forest is, oh, that is so funny. Oh yeah, I have the guidebook. It's giving me earth energy. So I grabbed all of my decks that are giving me earth energy, because we know that Virgo is an earth sign. So I love that this card came out. Let me find the guidebook. And it is Moonlight Enchantment Magic 25. So we got the energies of 2, which is coming in combination with something. Union. We have the energy of 5, which is change, communication. So again, somebody might be bringing messages or information. The full moon is spotlighting something for you, some magic for you. So let's see what the Moonlight Enchantment has to say. Magic is all around you. The veil between the worlds is thin right now, which it is because of Pisces season. Um, it is indeed the magical universe, and the key to opening all doors to the realms is to trust. All may not be as it seems. By the protective light of the moon, the magic of the universe surrounds you, even though it is dark. The light of the moon shows you the way, reminding you to trust what you feel. You are safe, even when you can't see. Have faith that you are being supported by the mysterious and wondrous ways, by unseen beings, according to your highest good. The spirit of the moonlight enchantment says, believe in magic. You are being given a powerful mystical messages from spirit. Take time to listen. Allow the luminescent receptive energy of the moon to activate your creativity. You receive mystical messages, and you are the spiritual messenger for others. Period. I don't need to say nothing. Take that with you. It just basically describes all that we talked about in the beginning of the reading, and in the bottom of the deck was enchantment 19, enlightenment. So this full moon is giving us messages, is enlightening, communicating something for our highest good. For we have to have faith that we're getting there, right? We're getting there. It might seem dark, it may seem, we might not know. We need to have the faith, we need to trust. We need to trust in order to get to that enlightenment. And the card that I pulled for another, sorry, y'all. Let me just find this really quickly. All right. I had to get my guidebook. But I'm going to be pulling from the herbology deck again, Earth. We're thinking Virgo. So I felt like we can use an herb or ritual, and we could maybe work with or experiment during this Virgo Full Moon. And what came up was yarrow. Yarrow. So maybe working with yarrow and some of your full moon intentions, some of your full moon magic, the ace of air. So again, we're thinking some communication, something new being birthed, something new information, data, being coming to you in order to start something new, So it says, the first seed of a new idea can be found just outside of your front door. Take a fresh look at the ancient spirit calling. Through this common weed, yarrow often goes unnoticed. Inspiration is close, yet you may have overlooked it as it's ordinary and not valuable enough. Use your discernment and reasoning to see clearly. It is important to positively identify yarrow because a lookalikes can be deadly. Set feelings aside and follow your truth. Start with what you already know. Seek visions from your ancestors. And yarrow to me is very, in hoodoo, I know it's used a lot. It's very ancestral to me. In Latin, the name for yarrow comes from the myth Achilles. Read his birth story, journal about the questions. What is my Achilles heel? How is it helping me in my destiny? Oh, I love that so much, Chiron. Cultivate discernment by learning to identify yarrow and its lookalikes. Craft a powder of dried yarrow leaves to stop the bleeding. Use it in magical practices to heal wounds and to cut the bone. Interesting. I love that. And I think that's all I have. I love that it had some journaling questions. Astro Matrix on their full moon in Virgo had some beautiful questions that, journaling questions, reflection questions. Again, Virgo loves to give homework, so I thought that this would be a cool way to end. There are some of the questions that you can pose from this Virgo full moon or journal around. And this is again from Astro Matrix. It's saying, so again, we're thinking about healing, right? So along the lines where we have worlds received much healing. The question at this full moon, the journal prompts we might say could be along the lines of where in our worlds have we received much needed healing? How has it served us? How have we in turn served the world? And this is exactly what Yarrow had to say, as well as what was the other card that we pulled? Magic, enlightenment, illumination, enlightenment. What was it? Where are the gaps? Where have we been neglecting ourselves? That series, that nurturing. How can we bring fuller, more integrated healing in? In what ways can we be healthier in our mind, body, soul, and spirit? Where can we let go of control in every tiny detail? And where can we lean more into creativity, into imagination? That is just a random one I threw in there. But that's all I have for y'all. I didn't know it would be this long, but Spirit had something to say. I had something to say. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Maybe I'll do it again in the future. But as it was just so personal to me, I thought I would share and give some practical ways to work with this energy based on the nitty-gritty details that came with this Virgo full moon. And if you had liked it and if you enjoyed it, I ask that you give me a thumbs up, check some of the Virgo, some of the tea and tarots that we've done in the past if you need some nurturing during this time. Yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all. I'll leave it there. So much love, sending so much love to y'all, and full moon blessings.